There's a very specific, very dangerous moment in every single project. It's the moment the thing finally works on your laptop and your brain leans back and says, okay, I'm basically done. You are not basically done. You are standing right at the edge of the widest gap in all of software. The gap between something that runs on your computer and something that's actually live on the internet, holding real people's data without falling over and without getting robbed. Crossing that gap has a name. It's called shipping. And most projects quietly die right here at the edge because nobody ever taught them the 4 things it takes to cross. So let's fix that today. So far in this series, we've directed the AI, we've laid the foundations, and we've learned to keep our app from falling apart. This is the final leap, actually getting the thing out into the real world in one piece. 4 skills. Let's ship. First, databases. Here's a slightly scary little fact. By default, everything your app remembers lives in its short-term memory. And that memory gets completely wiped every time the app restarts. Which means, without a database, your app has the memory of a goldfish. A user signs up, closes the tab, comes back an hour later, and the app has absolutely no idea who they are. Everything's gone. A database is the fix for exactly that. Think of it as a giant organized filing cabinet that survives the power going out. It's your app's long-term memory, the place where accounts, orders, messages, all of it gets written down permanently, so it's still sitting there tomorrow and next week and next year. And here's one word you're going to bump into: migrations. That just means changing the shape of that filing cabinet, adding a new drawer, a new label in a careful, orderly way without dumping all your existing files onto the floor. Get comfortable with the idea of a permanent, organized home for your data. Nothing serious ever ships without one. Second, deployment. And this is where beginners run headfirst into the most famous sentence in all of programming. But it works on my machine. Sure it does. It works in your bedroom. But shipping isn't rehearsing alone in your bedroom. It's opening night, on a public stage, in front of a live audience. Deployment is the act of taking your app off your personal computer and putting it onto a computer that is always on and always connected so that anyone in the world can actually reach it. And here's the part that trips absolutely everyone up. Your rehearsal room and the real stage are not the same place. On your own computer, you've got all your little shortcuts and settings quietly in place. The live stage doesn't have a single one of those unless you set them up there on purpose. Professionals keep these 2 worlds firmly separated, a safe practice space where they're allowed to make a mess and break things, and the real live version that actual users are touching. Blur those 2 together, and one day you'll test something risky on the live stage with the entire audience watching. Learn to cross from your machine to a real one cleanly. That crossing is what the word shipping literally means. Third, managing your dependencies. Now, one of the genuinely best things about building today is that you do not have to make everything yourself. Need a calendar, a payment system, someone brilliant already built it, and you can simply grab it and drop it straight into your app. These pre-made building blocks are called packages, and honestly, they're a superpower. But, and this is a real but, every package you add is like a jar of ingredients cooked up by a stranger. Most of them are wonderful, but any one of them can change its recipe without warning, or get recalled for a problem, or quietly drag 5 more strangers' jars in behind it. So, 2 simple rules. Rule 1, don't go inviting 400 strangers into your kitchen. Every package you add is one more thing you now depend on, so add them thoughtfully, not on impulse. Rule 2, write down the exact version of everything you're using, the exact brand, the exact size, so that when you build your app again tomorrow or on a completely different computer, it comes out tasting exactly the same instead of mysteriously falling apart. Stand on other people's work? Absolutely. Just always know precisely whose work you're standing on. And fourth, the one that keeps grown adults awake at night: security. Here's the uncomfortable truth that quietly ties this entire series together. The AI writes code that works. It does not, by default, write code that's safe. It will cheerfully build you a beautiful house with doors and windows that open and close perfectly, and then leave every single one of them unlocked. Locking them is on you. And the single most important lock is this: never trust anything a user hands you. Every name, every message, every little box that somebody types into, treat it like a package from a completely unknown sender, because attackers don't politely type in normal answers. They try to slip hidden, harmful instructions inside those innocent looking boxes, hoping to trick your app into doing something it should never, ever do. Carefully checking and cleaning everything that comes in is your first and best line of defense. And here's one more: whenever your app sends information across the internet, make sure it's sealed inside a locked envelope, not scribbled on the back of a postcard that anyone along the way can casually read. The AI hands you a house that functions. Security is you, walking around, actually locking the doors. So there it is, the whole leap. Give your data a permanent home, get it off your machine and onto a real stage. Know exactly whose code you're standing on, and lock every door before you open up to the public. Because here's the thing: all four of these share, they are the difference between a cool little project you show your friends once and a real product that the world can actually use and trust and rely on. The AI can get you shockingly close to the edge of that gap. It really can, but it will not carry you across it. Shipping, real shipping, is still a decision you make and a set of skills you bring with you, because the AI can build it, but only you can ship it.